Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Morning Coffee with Mitch, and that's me. That's me. Good to see you all. Good to see you all this morning. You know the drill. You know the drill. Drink it if you got it. My first sip this morning. While we wait for people to pile in. That's good. That's good. How was everybody? Just got done watching Kilts this morning, and had a very interesting guest, Michael. I think his name is Michael. And I agreed with everything he said, except that I'm not up for his sauna protocol. That's for sure. When I passed out, overdid it. The final nail in that deal was the fact that I stayed for about a half an hour in a 170-degree sauna, and that was too much. So you got to be very, very careful, I think. Very careful. He's probably in great shape, much younger than I am, but I would caution people from my own personal experience about a 200-degree sauna for 4 sessions of 30 minutes. I'm sure if you're in that kind of shape, it's good for you. But most of us, like I said, Kilsey likes his hot tub. At any rate, both of those are methods to basically try to cook yourself. Because you can cook, you can slow cook meat at 200 degrees. You got to be careful. You got to be careful, I think. Anyway, that's just me. Just me and my opinions. Tammy says, let's not cook ourselves. Well, that's the idea. When you're in that much heat for that long, of course, every system in your body is working to try to cool you down. It's like turning your air conditioner way down until the compressor blows up. So it depends on how good your compressor is. I don't know. I just hope a whole bunch of people who've never been in a sauna don't seek one out and say, well, he said stay in there for 2 hours with 5-minute breaks at 200 plus degrees. That's hot enough almost to boil water. But I think most of us are smart enough to know that maybe that's not something we should be trying. Anyway, little word of caution. Because I think that it was that one episode that caused me to pass out, led to the fact that I had to have brain surgery to remove a subdural hematoma, which eventually, a couple of years later, led to the fact that I had a stroke right at the location of that brain surgery. So, you know, you know, I'm a root cause kind of guy. I go back and figure what started this whole mess. And combination of working out too hard at the gym, too long in the sauna, I think was the root cause of every health problem, including the stroke that I've had since then. So hot tub for me, 104 degrees, 105 degrees. Of course, water conducts heat off your body much faster than, or will conduct heat into your body much faster than air. So I certainly would recommend anybody stay in a hot tub for more than 10 minutes, 15 minutes at all. Well, I decided that I have the power. I have the power. And why have you decided that, you may ask? I am fairly sure that I single-handedly broke YouTube last night, slightly after 8 o'clock in the evening. No, I'm not kidding. A widespread failure of YouTube. First time I've ever seen it. Just after I finished my live stream last night, I went in the other room and I sat down to watch the replay of my live stream. And I turned on YouTube and it comes up and it said, something's wrong. I said, what the hell? So you first figure it's your own TV. So then I pulled out my cell phone and I went to my channel and it said, something's wrong. I said, holy, what happened? So I quick Googled and said, is YouTube having technical problems now? And evidently there haven't been enough reports of it at that time. It was when it first happened. And Google comes on and says, no, YouTube's working fine. So I said, oh, Christ. So then I went to a website called Down Detector. One word, downdetector.com. And I typed in YouTube, and it came back and said, we've got a slew of technical reports about YouTube being down. Well, troubleshooter that I am, I went to my OldGuyCarnivore channel, and that worked. And while I was there, I went in and asked it to switch accounts back to my Gmail account that I used to watch YouTube. Now, that's the account with the premium on it, where I don't have to watch ads. I couldn't get into it. It showed me all my other accounts in the list. But when right next to the account I wanted to go to, it said, not a technical problem. All of my TVs that have a YouTube app in them are set to go to that channel. And they wouldn't work on the TVs. But when I went on my cell phone to my Old Guy channel, it worked fine. So the bottom line basically was, I think, the problem existed in the accounts that were trying to, the premium accounts. So some of you may not have had, if you don't have YouTube Premium or no ads, you probably didn't have the problem. If you had YouTube Premium last night, you probably got the message that said, YouTube is down. Lori says, I did the same things as Mitch. Yeah. And it lasted for well over an hour. And I know there was a problem. I know there was a problem, and I know this is technical stuff, but this is the kind of stuff that fascinates me. Let me show you. I get my YouTube studio up here, and go into last night. Let's see. We want diagnostics, and I want to get. Let's see if I can see it here. Yeah, it would be views. You might not be able to see this because it might be a little small, but here I will. Let me. Nah, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I can do it on my cell phone. A lot easier than this. I'm sorry, guys. Here I am trying so hard to show you. But if you look, see live count? No, that's not it. Okay. Oh, well, I'm boring the hell out of you. I'm sorry. But right at 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock, I'll just read the numbers to you. In the 60-minute period between 7 and 8 p.m., I had 1,011 views on all my videos. From 8 to 9 p.m., I had 353. And then from 9 to 10, I went back up to 682. If you look at the bar chart, there was, in every video I had, the total videos, there was a big dip between 8 and 9 p.m. So I saw that and I said, well, I'm not the only one having this problem. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. Can you imagine what would happen if all of a sudden YouTube blew up and stopped working? Maybe a hack, a cyber attack. Oh, some of these names I can't read. One Life to Live. No, yeah, One Life to. I didn't have YouTube for 45 minutes. I don't have premium YouTube. Okay, that wasn't, maybe that wasn't it, but that's what it seemed to be. Since all my other user accounts, which were not premium, I could, but it was wonky. It was wonky. So I hope we all survived it. Need to get a T-shirt. We survived the great YouTube outage on Tuesday night. I had a good live stream last night. Thank everybody for coming. Thank you all for coming. And today, I started to talk about it last night, and we all got sidetracked. I had a great panel. I had Liz in from Black Box Mornings. Jerry, happy birthday today, Jerry, to you. Today is your birthday. We got it right on the money today. And I was talking about this new doctor I'm going to interview this afternoon. This may be a new first for him, where somebody comes in and doesn't want an exam, doesn't want a physical, willing to pay for a visit, to sit down and talk to him and interview him and see if I want him to be my primary care physician. Because the VA really, they just, you may as well be dealing with a computer. I don't want to deal with somebody that sits behind a computer terminal the whole exam, never touches you, and just asks you questions. And at the end, it spits out a whole list of prescriptions it wants you to take. That's not my idea of a doctor. But that's where medicine's going. So this particular doctor here in Melbourne, whose office is 1.5 miles from where I live, was recommended to me by one of my viewers. He's a DO, an osteopath, not an MD, which I like better because at least they're more naturopaths. They believe in healing things naturally and not just throwing more and more and more drugs at the problem. They are still doctors, but not all doctors know things about cholesterol. They don't know. I mean, they just go by the book, and the book is wrong. we kind of convinced ourselves of that. So 3:45 this afternoon, I'm going to go in there. This guy, the reason I want to go see him is he is a carnivore. He lives, supposedly, the carnivore lifestyle. And I got some questions to ask him. And I thought, he's also a very small practice, one-man practice, one girl in the office. They answer the phone. They're not a big deal. You know, about the last test I have is if this guy's got a white coat on with a stethoscope around his neck, I'm probably going to get up and walk out. I want a doctor like the old-fashioned doctors. If you got a problem, they have more than 3 minutes to sit with you. You don't have to sit in their waiting room and then be moved to a little room, a little exam room, sit there for 20 minutes. And then His Highness comes wandering in with 2 assistants at his side and spends a minute and a half with you and writes out 4 prescriptions and out you go. That is not what I call a doctor. I think I'm better off if I just don't do anything unless it's emergency type stuff. That's the tear that I've been on lately. So I'll report on Friday morning, and we'll probably talk about it on the private community live stream tomorrow night, about how my interview went, because I think that we have the right, I really think this, we have the right as the consumer, as the customer, to question those people and their expertise that we're betting our lives on. I think we have the right to do that. Yet, you try that with most doctors, and they throw you out. I had that with a dental company once. They just said, "No, we don't want you as a patient." I said, "Yeah, F you," and I left. My last urologist, I tried that with him, and he got so offended that I wasn't bowing down at his altar. I can't have that. I don't want it. I don't want anything to do with these people. That's a lifetime of experiences, not only for me with doctors, but both my parents, same thing. I'm just tired of it. So, going to go. An added bonus is I think the guy is Jewish by his name. And I haven't mentioned his name yet, but if I think he's on the right track, or I think he would actually be a terrific primary care physician, as the lady that recommended him to me said, I've already got a handful of people that are waiting for my opinion. And I may be the best salesman that this guy ever had. We'll see. We'll see. The one thing that I need to see from him is a modicum of respect, if he expects respect from me. Nobody is entitled to respect. I don't care if they're a king. They have to earn respect. Respect is something you earn in this world. And somebody forgot to put that in the medical school curriculum. So, it could be interesting. I'll let you know. And Aaron, you're right, Aaron, said, don't forget your opening question. Have you heard of Ancel Keys? That was my first question to the doctors. Of all the doctors I've asked that question to, not a single one of them knew the answer. Not, believe it or not, excuse me, itchy nose. Not a single one knew who Ancel Keys was. It's almost hard to believe. Almost hard to believe. I think I got a mustache here. It may be climbing up my... Sometimes they get bent upwards and they tickle the hell out of you. Oh, how disgusting, Mitch. Well, we're all friends here. We are all friends. So I talked about that, talked about the great YouTube outage yesterday. Good morning, Lady June and Michael Seeley in Tampa. How you doing? Good to see you, Michael. And Wayne Herman, good morning. Sandy Blythe, good morning. Brian Dish, good morning. To all the Mitch Fits. Rough Carnivore, how are you, my friend, from Guam? Thomas is here. Hiya, Thomas. Tammy Petard says good morning to y'all Mitch Fits. I don't know about this, Rough Carnivore. Ate an entire 9-piece chicken bucket from KFC. I don't know about that. I hope you're with us tomorrow and it doesn't kill you. All that breading and seed oils. So at any rate, that's a lot of chicken. I'm sure it tasted good. That stuff tastes too good. Rick's here. Good morning from Miami. Good morning, Rick. How you doing? And Sean, good morning to you. Robert Mellinson says good morning. Don Shonger says good morning. Larry Ryan is here. Lori, good morning, Lori. How are you? Good to see you. Anthony is here. And Brian Dish, congratulations, my friend. You are this morning's winner. Right at 7 o'clock, and Loretta Nadeau, easy for me to say, Loretta Nadeau followed shortly thereafter, calling us all darlings. I like that. I like that. Barry Simon's here. Barry, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you and all the Barry sent me another one of his AI clips. The man's a machine generating those things. And let me show you. I have to download it. I haven't downloaded it from the email yet. Okay, let's see. Download. There it is. Let's see if I can play it here. This may not be pretty till I get it set up. Hang on a second. I may position it correctly. Hang on a second. And put it over on this monitor. And we will go to that monitor. There it is. And let me get rid of this on the screen. And we will turn the sound on. And here it is, my friends. Call for celebration. Boy, that AI, when it makes a picture of me, gives me such beautiful teeth. It's incredible, incredible. Nice white teeth. Oh, I need to live in an AI world. At any rate, thank you for that, Barry. That's pretty cool. And yes, I did. Thanks to Bob Briggs and his little post on his community chat, has gotten me basically over 300 subscribers in the last couple of days. It was incredible. And I was looking for Bob last night. He didn't come in, and I don't know if he's going to come in here this morning. I think maybe all this attention is bringing back some of the pain that he tried to get away with when he left YouTube 10 years ago. So I hope he takes it easy, lets himself come back into this madness slowly, and doesn't overwhelm him again, because I've said this before as many times as I've almost been driven out because of the YouTube culture and the way that YouTube continually drives you and puts more and more pressure on you to perform for less and less money. Many really great YouTubers have said, that's it, I've had enough. I finally found a niche where I enjoy myself. I don't worry about the money. I have fun. I have good friends here, and at this point, that's good. That's good enough for me. Yeah, Rick says Butter Bob did it. Yeah, he did. He did. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And right now, I mean, even right now, I have 50,348. Now, I was still growing. I started growing again, and it was doing real well, but not at the rate of 300-400 a day. I don't know how long that's going to last, but it's still going, which means that Bob still has an incredible following out there. Well, we'll see. We'll see if we hear from him. If he comes in, joins us again, that'd be great. If not, I'm sure he's going to get very, very, very busy. I'm just looking for the next thing he puts out. I'm looking for the next video that comes out. So we'll see. We'll see. I hope he doesn't disappear again. That would be a shame. That would be a shame. Where was I? Barry Simon, that's where I was. Lori White, so Rough Carnivore says, good morning to me. Brendan McIntyre says, good morning. Chuck Supertune in Tampa says, I hear the music. Yes, sir. Terry P is here. Hi, Terry. Haven't been here in a bit. Yes. Yes, where have you been? I saw you on Kilts this morning, Terry. Saw you in there. Carnivore Chet. The A's look like E's with these glasses. If I tilt my head back, it gets a little sharper. Good morning, Mitch, says Chet. Good to see you. Good to see you. And everybody's saying hi to everybody. My good friend from Texas, drone buddy, Chris Hope is here. Hiya, Chris. Hope all is well with you. Good to see you this morning. Good to see you. Appreciate the fact that you check in on old Mitch every once in a while. Make sure I'm still alive and well. Barry Simon, Wednesday Mitch Fits, yes. And now I can see replies, comments on my talking about the hot tub. Terry is here. Terry girl, Terry Prime Rib. And Terry in a conversation. Yeah, this is so true. Rick says that in Florida we call a closed car in the sun a sauna. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And Sandy Blythe, you see a green thing right up here. There it is, right there. See it? Says, a member for 15 months. And the message was, congratulations on 50,000. Thank you so much. Now I'm shooting for 100,000. And I wonder what the Vegas odds would be on what would come first. I hit 100,000 subscribers or I'm dead. Because God knows how long it might take for that to happen. Unless I get really, really popular. I look at these guys with millions of subscribers, and for most of us YouTubers, that's an impossibility. I never ever thought I'd get to 50K, but I did somehow. And we have Tristan, 71, member for 8 months. Good morning, Mitch. How have you been? I've been great. I even went to the gym yesterday. I was talking about it last night. I had the best day physically that I've had in a year, because it's almost a year now. I had my stroke on February 28th, so it's almost a year. I was everywhere yesterday, walking around. I went to Aldi's, went shopping, bought the shredded cheese for my little chaffle, which I'm going to do today. I'm going to finish it, part 2, and make a couple of them and make the burger patties and bacon, and hopefully it'll come out to be a bacon cheeseburger, old school, that you eat with your hands and hold on to it. I mean, it's been so long since I've done that. Don't think I remember how. Lizzie, member for 7 months. Hello, I'm here too. Good morning, Lizzie. How are you? How are you? You got something you want to talk about? Put QQQs. And here, Mitch, the second I got off, that was last night, as soon as we ended my stream, that's exactly when YouTube broke. Mitch, the second I got off, I freaked out. Thought my channel was hacked. Yeah, we all did. It was scary. It was absolutely, and the timing of it was uncanny. Uncanny, which is why I said first thing that I personally, by myself, broke the entirety of YouTube last night. I didn't realize I had that kind of power. But yeah, it was scary. And Peter, member for 16 months. Congratulations on 50,000 subs, he says. Wow, look at all the green coming up here, people. Do you have to, is there some way that you do that, or does this happen to be a renewal date for so many of you that they're all coming up? I don't normally get that many notices about how many months so many of our channel members have. Brian McIntyre says, I make pizza chaffles. Yeah, unfortunately with the pizza chaffles, you can do it, but you're going to get some carbs in the skim cheese, in the mozzarella made with skim milk, and you're probably going to have to try to find the lowest of low-carb sauces. Now, normally it wouldn't hurt you, and I doubt you could get enough carbs to blow you out of a ketovore diet, let's say. And I've made them, and they're great. You just got to be careful with these things, that there isn't something about them that's still addictive for you. And the only way you're going to know that is if you make them, and then you're thinking about them the next day, and you make them again, and then the next day you say, well, maybe I better make 2 of them. One of them just didn't do it for me, and then it's an addiction thing. So depending on the level of addiction you have, you have to do it for yourself individually. And I'm going to see when I make the hamburger with the 2 chaffles and the bacon. If I find I'm wanting to eat it twice a day, I might have to back off. Just like I did with the blueberry ice cream. I can eat blueberry ice cream in quantities that wouldn't hurt me at all. I just can't keep the quantities that low. That's the problem. So that's where you might have to have a little willpower and put the brakes on some of these things if you try them. Sandy Bly says, we hit the dollar button on the right. It's an option. I didn't know that. That would be the button that gives you the option to send a super chat or a super sticker. And the other option is basically, I guess, leave a message and it shows you your channel support. Super. Super. Yeah, it did. It did, Peter. It said something went wrong. Try again later. Yeah, something went wrong. Okay. Boy, it has to be something major for it to affect that many people over that broad a geographic area. Well, somehow I burned up half of this live stream already. I haven't told you much of anything. But I'm having fun. Look at them all. Everybody's doing it. Member for 10 months. You rock, Mitch. Yes, Thomas. Thank you so much, Thomas. And this is Steve Rogers, member for 18 months. Congratulations, Mitch. I got Peter. I don't want to miss calling you guys out. Thank you. Thank you, Thomas. And I appreciate the support. We have a good time in that members live stream. I'm glad I started doing that again because I kind of missed that. It's like let your hair down and say whatever you want and don't worry about offending anybody. Liz is here. My gosh. Distributor premium didn't work. Talked to Davey, had the same issue. Yeah, Liz. It was something, when something like that happens, you wonder if this is apocalypse happening. Is this the end of the world? We don't realize how much we rely on the reliability of our technology these days. I think society would collapse. What would happen to you if all of a sudden none of your credit cards worked? Online banking didn't work. You couldn't order a pizza. Couldn't order an Uber. Everything. Your doctor would have to go back to the old school. That would be horrifying for those people, not to have a computer in front of them. What would they do? And Mark C., member for 25 months. Wow, wow, wow. Thank you, Mark. You were one of the first. You were one of the first, and everybody's doing it now. Jerry Voitish, member for 20 months. Wow, that's what the colored things after your name. Your names come up in green, and you have a colored badge. And my cell phone is going crazy here. Somebody buying me coffee this morning? Holy cow. Greg Smith bought me a coffee. Congrats on 50K. Thank you so much, Greg. Appreciate that. How are you, my friends? How are you? You out driving? Smoking a cigar? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, let's see what everybody else is talking about here. Yeah, Rick says he was unable to watch YouTube until halfway through the keto cook. Believe it or not, when on my phone, which was already on my OldGuyCarnivore channel, I could use it perfectly well. None of my back-end stuff, my YouTube studio, none of that went down. So I watched a little bit of Russ's show when it first started on my cell phone. The servers had a global glitch. Yes, they did. That stuff is way complicated. Somehow I knew that. Rick still has his CB, so you can get on Breaker 19. Anyone out there? Let's see how far behind am I? Way, way far. Okay, I think I like this. Terry says, Mitch, you really are on to something for sure about interviewing doctors before ever letting them touch you. I also don't plan on filling out all those forms until I decide to hire the guy. I'll give her my insurance information, give her my insurance card so she can bill for the visit, because I don't want this guy to give me his time for free. I have enough respect for people who have a business. But especially with my stroke recovery and the inability to actually write like I used to, it would be torture for me to sit there and have to fill out all those forms. I couldn't do it. If they want those forms filled out for me, they're going to have to ask me the questions and I'll tell them the answer and they can fill them out. And I don't want to put them through that either. We'll see. We'll see. I can't tolerate the modus operandi of just about any facet of big medicine these days. You feel like a sheep being led to slaughter. I won't have it. The last times I've needed the medical community for anything, I had no choice because it was an emergency, arriving in an ambulance, and they just start sticking things in you. There's not much you can do about it. But as soon as I became aware of what was happening to me, I tried to take charge, and then I became labeled as an uncooperative patient, and they treated me like shit from there on out. And I spent the rest of my time in their clutches fighting off the bullshit they were trying to do to me until they explained it to me and it made sense. Then I said, okay. So we still have that right today to dictate what procedures we give them permission to do and what we don't. And if you don't have a living will where that right is delegated to somebody you trust, get one. My children have that right. If I can't, if I'm unconscious or something. But there are very few people in this world that I would trust other than my kids. And it took up until recently for me to even get a living will. But I now have one. So I don't know if I feel any better about that or worse, but it's not a bad idea. Brian, this says, Mitch, we have the right to do that, and they also have the right to not let them interview them. Of course they do. Save us all a lot of time. Save us all a lot of time. I very rarely have any interactions with a new doctor that is outside the hospital, a doctor that I don't know. But this is the second time I actually bought an appointment and went in and told the nurse, I'm not here. No, get away from me with the blood pressure cup. Quit asking me all these questions. I came here to talk. I said that when I made the appointment, that I came here to talk to him and decide if I want him to be in this case, it was a urologist. I decided quickly, no way. I wasn't mean or nasty to the guy, but he got so outraged. I was labeled an uncooperative patient before I even saw him because I wouldn't let his nurse take my blood pressure. They don't know how to handle this. They do not know how to handle it. And more often than not, with most of these arrogant, egomaniac narcissists with their white coats these days, this is the reaction you're going to get. Who do you think you are? And anybody asks me that question, I say, I think I'm interviewing you to be my employee. Tell me where I'm wrong. That stops them. That stops them. Nowhere else in the business world does the boss, the person who's paying the bills, have to get permission from the underlings or be interviewed by the underlings before they take the job. How many times have you been to a job interview where you interviewed them and then decided whether you wanted to take their job? It's ass backwards. It's ass backwards. I think it would be nice if when you're looking for a new doctor, that was a kind of a standard part of it. That I would think that a doctor would want to meet a new patient also and find out if he thinks that patient's going to be a whole lot more trouble than he's worth, and also has the option of saying, I think you should find somebody else. He absolutely has that right. Just like when I had my restaurant, I reserved the right to refuse service to anyone. That's standard restaurant stuff. They can throw you out on your ass if you're making a big fuss or something. Sometimes we lose the customer-provider relationship. It doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway, I'll let you know how it goes. Hopefully this guy be a good guy. We're both Jewish. We're both from Philadelphia. He's got to be probably 20 years younger than me. Says he's been practicing for 30 years. Well, that means he's probably in his late 50s, early 60s at the youngest. And one thing I do with these doctors that unnerves them, I did it in the hospital. All these new doctors that came in to see me, every one of them, they all had a name tag on. Called them by their first name. Think about that. I called them by their first name. I refused to let the word doctor come out of my mouth. I don't know if that's just me, but I'm going to introduce myself as Mitch, and I'm going to start using their first name immediately. And some of these doctors did not know how to take it. One of them even corrected me. That's Dr. So-and-so. I said, okay, Dr. So-and-so. Why do I need you? If he could only read my mind, the stuff I was thinking. Why do I need you? Why are you here? I don't know you. I didn't ask for you. Well, I'm the hospitalist here at this hospital. What's your job? What are you here? What are you here to do? Well, I oversee all this other. That's great, doctor. Do your job, but don't do anything to me unless you run it by me first. Now, uncooperative patient. Then there's an upside to being an uncooperative patient. They ignore you. I wish they would have ignored me 10 times during the night when they come and wake you up. God, it is so broken. It is so broken. Yeah, the question about Ansel Keys, that's true. That's true. Danny Boston, how you doing? Good to see you this morning. Yes, that's true. They get so irate when you can't be manipulated. And they shouldn't get irate. It's not their job to scold you or fire you or get at all upset when you don't blindly follow their advice. That is a personality flaw. That is an overinflated ego, narcissism, and every other bad thing that human beings exhibit when they think they have some kind of power over other human beings. And our system encourages that. They exalt these doctors. We're going to call them Your Eminence. Your Eminence. Let's see. I don't see any questions. Doctors can very easily be replaced by AI, says Peter, if they don't change and add real value. AI can do everything they can do in their 10-minute exam. Well, yes and no, Peter. Yes and no. There are things that AI can't treat, especially trauma and accidents that require doctors. And I made a whole video saying that not all doctors are bad, and there's doctors that we need. There's things in modern medicine that are miracles. Things like antibiotics, anesthesia, talented surgeons, orthopedic guys, people that can do a hip replacement. We need doctors. Fewer and fewer doctors seem to be going into these much-needed specialties, like emergency room medicine, and going for the high-paying specialty things. Cosmetic surgery. My dermatologist is pretty much completely switched his practice over to plastic surgery now. It's a fortune to be made. And he's so busy, I can't even get in to see him when I need him anymore. So I don't want a doctor like that. I don't want a doctor like that. Sandy Blythe also, wow, member for 15 months. Thank you, Sandy. Oh, here, I'm starting. I think I acknowledged all these already. Yes, all the green blobs. Thomas, Mark C., Jerry Boytush. Question: can you imagine if YouTube viewers organized a no YouTube day strike? Kathy said, I don't think they'd get very far. I think we're all addicted to YouTube. I'm seriously. I think we're addicted to it. I think we would be suffering withdrawal if we had to go for a day without it. I watch almost everything now on YouTube. I watch a little Amazon Prime and Paramount Plus. But when you get YouTube Premium, you get a whole ton of movies. You get all kinds of stuff. And you can only spend so many hours a day watching television after all. All right, 9:38. Catching up. Guys, I am catching up. Got 10 minutes left. You're still hanging in here with me? Very gratifying. Very gratifying as I read you the chat. Is Tuka here? Yeah. Hi, Tuka. How you doing? Tuka's with us last night. We got to share some pictures of him, all regaled out in his opera suit, and very impressive. Very impressive. If Carnivore sounds like he's not going to be eating an entire bucket of KFC fried chicken again. Glad to hear. Glad to hear. And here's Tuka chimed in. I didn't know what that meant. Yes, my friend. Not far from the truth. With Mitch in a hospital room, the doctor would need a police escort. I actually can be pretty nice to these guys. I try to give everybody the benefit of the doubt first. Assume that they're intelligent, they know their job, and they're decent. But there's so many signs that just come out right away in their tone, in their demeanor, in their attitude, in the words they use, in their arrogance, that the switch clicks in me and I say, asshole. To myself, I say that. I don't call them that. On the inside, you know. And then I adopt an incredibly defensive posture. And I think it's important with these people because they don't know who you are. They don't give a shit about you. They got a job to do. They got 5 minutes to do it, and it's on to the next one. And 20 minutes after they've seen you, they wouldn't recognize you if they walked into you in the supermarket. And they got an office staff of 10 girls out there just to be able to do the paperwork. And some of them are the most, they probably cut their teeth working at the driver's license bureau. The attitudes on these office staff. Just to try to call them up. I want to talk to the doctor. You know, he doesn't do that. You can make an appointment, and we're booking appointments now in 6 months. I want to talk to my doctor. Well, I'm sorry, sir. He doesn't talk to patients on the phone. You know, who wants to do business with people like that? You want a plumber like that? Your plumber did a big job for you, spent a lot of money, fixed it, and all of a sudden the whole house springs a leak, and you try to call a plumber to come back, and you get some office staff of his running interference saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, he's too busy to talk to you. You can schedule a phone call with him," which is what they do at the VA. I call up the VA. I want to talk to my primary care physician, a nurse practitioner, not even a doctor. Well, we can schedule a phone call for her next week. And we will let you know. And then you have to wait, and they call you back. Okay, you're scheduled on Tuesday at 11:15, and she'll call you. I can't live in a system like that. When you have to make appointments to even talk to people that are responsible, that you rely on. I could understand if I was a hypochondriac, but I never call. When I call, it's something I need to have addressed. But boy, the runarounds I get, that's why I get so fed up I made that video, which is probably the most popular video I've ever put out, believe it or not. So I'm not alone in my disgust, thorough disgust of how the whole so-called healthcare system, that is wrong on two levels. There's nothing healthy about it. And the second level is there's no care involved. So to call something a healthcare system is a double lie. I've heard people call it the sick care system. Even that, the word care, they don't care. They do not care. And I keep ranting about it. That seems to be my mission in life these days. Tom, everybody's talking. Terry P says, there's other words I could use instead of their title, Doctor. Yeah, me too. See you later, Tuga. See you later for another 4 or 5 minutes anyway. We're coming up to the end of it here. I won't put that up there, DS. Michael Pregler. Good morning, Michael. Just walked out of the weight room. Good to see you, Michael. Welcome. A couple minutes ago, showed up. And Kathy says AI is well suited to diagnosis of skin issues. Yeah, if you can get a good picture, show it the picture, it can probably do something. I haven't seen, one QQQ today. That's okay. Having a nice conversation. You got 106 people here. Wow. Holy cow. We're talking about robots now. Yeah, this is true, Kathy. The doctors do have to make their boat payments and the Porsche payments and the mansion payments and the alimony for the 3 ex-wives. Hey, I can understand all that. Mike, did you see the review of the first viewing of the movie Heal Humanity? No, I didn't. Where is it, Mike? I did not see that. I didn't know it was out there yet. Did anybody else see that? And what was the overall opinion? Because supposedly the first viewing of that movie was to non-carnivores, was to the average pizza-eating American sports fan. They wouldn't let, of what I understand, they wouldn't let any carnivores in there. So I'm curious, Mike, if you could email me a link to whatever it was you watched. I'd really like to watch that. So appreciate that. Email me the link to that. It won't let you put the link in the chat, but you can email it to me. Carnivore Mountain, good morning. Good morning. Nothing like showing up near the end. Good to see you. You decided that you're eating too much cheese. Cheese is a treat. Yeah, it is, and cheese can be very addictive to some people. And it's just one of these things you have to be careful of. I've heard it contains a substance that they labeled casomorphines, and queso is cheese, so casomorphines. So it may have a slight narcotic effect. It's entirely possible. Kathy, get AI to write some carnivore jokes. I wonder if AI's got a sense of humor. it sure as hell can compose music. Wow. It's on Curry's channel. Okay. Mike Show. Well, was it good or bad? What, I mean, did he say how well it went, or did he say he was disappointed? Because it's his movie. That kind of conflict of interest in results would not fly in any well thought out lab experiment, that's for sure. Curry's got a lot at stake. That's called user bias. So I'll be interested, but I'll watch it. I'll watch it. And I got down to the bottom. I got to the bottom of the chat. It is exactly 8 o'clock. Wow. Becoming as punctual as Ali and Kilton Nelson. Who'd have thunk it? Who'd have thunk it? And Cass says, Mitch, yes, I'm hooked. Mike Sealy in Melbourne says, you have to watch it, Mitch. I will do that. I will do that, Michael, as soon as I'm done here. And I don't know where the hour went, or if I said anything interesting, but you all hung in there with me, so must have. I'll be back tomorrow night on the members live stream, 7 o'clock. And Friday morning for Morning Coffee with Mitch. And stories of how my doctor interview went. And any tips I might have figured out in a smooth way to do that without pissing everybody off. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. Everybody's saying goodbye. Lori Weisel says, thank you, Mitch. Rick, see you tomorrow. Aaron, bye, everybody. Thanks, Mitch. 50,000 and growing. Mash the like button, says Kathy. And Danny in Boston. Lady June, thanks for hanging in there with me for this whole thing. I'm feeling great. I'm going to try to be more and more active every day. I may go back to the gym and start really actually working out, walking more, going out into the stores. It's easy just to sit around, but I find that the more I move, the better I move. So just got to keep doing it. Happy Hump Day all, says retired Rick. Rough Carnivore, tomorrow it is Take Care All. All right, my friend. Thanks so much for coming, everybody. Anybody I did not say hi to, here's a hello just for you. And the music ends, and so has the show. Let me get rid of that. I want to get rid of that thing. I don't want it to go into the. I don't want it to go into the ending. There we go. Okay. Want to be professional. Look out for my truffle cheeseburger with bacon video. Hopefully I'll get it done today. And let you know how much I enjoyed it. Until then, take the rest of the day off and eat meat.